Good afternoon.
There's a
everyone.
delay there.
Yeah, there was a hell of a delay coming on, but good afternoon. Good afternoon, Adam Poland. Good afternoon, old boy, Paul Hogden. He's there as well.
What
Long
up?
time no see, Mr. Hogden. Before we go into any more pleasantries, check out ODYS. If you're interested in age domains, give yourself a head start by getting a ready-made backlink profile. Also, check out my YouTube plaque.
Nice. How much did that cost you to buy that off of Logan Paul? It's pretty good. You scratched the name off. I can't even
Yeah,
tell.
scratched the name off and engraved it myself
Nice.
with my own. So, yeah, that's staying there and will be rubbed
Congratulations.
in people's faces forevermore.
I
But
saw Mr. Beast was just on the Joe Rogan. You know who that is, Mr. Beast, the big
no,
YouTube guy. You don't. He's got one channel that's about to cross 100 mil or something like that. But like across all of his fucking channels, it's like 200 million followers and shit. It's just, it would be a really good one for you to listen to, I think, because you're more into the YouTube stuff, just like his strategy. The motherfucker's only 23, but he's been doing it since he was like 11, you know. So he would save up his money. His first ever like check or whatever from YouTube was like $10. So he would save up and buy a microphone, then save up and buy a computer and all that stuff. Now he's got like teams, like multiple teams going with production. He's got like I said, it was extremely interesting. I got a little over halfway through it last night listening to it. He has teams that will take his English YouTube channel, convert it to he's got one that's converted to Spanish. So they make sure that all of that, and it gets a shit ton of followers and views and everything like that. He's got one for in Brazil, Portuguese and shit like that. It's just amazing. I'm in Google's office today. I think this is circa 1999 or something, but yeah, making sure this guy over here keeps working. So
is Mr. Mueller in today?
Yeah, he just got in. He's taking a massive crap, so no one wants to bother him. He shits out of his mouth a lot, but I think he's sitting down right now.
Oh man. But guys, we are here to answer your questions today. So get your questions over, put them in the live chat, and
Mike might be joining us. So we don't have his preloaded questions, and unless he gets here. So ask away, Noogler.
But yeah, ask your questions, put them in the live chat, give us abuse, anything at all. Thanks for the overshare.
That's my middle name, Paul.
B-Rad overshare Mabry.
That's it.
Maeve, good to see you, Maeve.
Hey.
But yeah, questions, guys. We need them because Mike's not here to pull some shit up.
One question I was going to ask. What was it? Oh, the YouTube thing. Getting your YouTube video or your YouTube channel into Google News.
Yeah.
What's that process like? How's it going?
So that was a friend of mine who'd done it for a laugh last night. So he was in Holly Stark's mastermind, and Holly Stark was talking about it, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to see if I can get Craig's done." And yeah, it got done overnight, and we're still not sure of the benefits of what that brings. You know, I think it will come with increased exposure, blah 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 blah. But
I don't see how it's not going to generate more traffic to the videos at the very least.
Yeah.
So
we'll see, but there's still a lot of testing to be done, and they also, you know, he done this just off the cuff last night, and he used my YouTube channel as a test. I'm not sure because of the following I've got and the fact that I'm verified that it got approved quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
So, but we are trying it again today on a YouTube channel that's got about 200 subscribers. To see if the same process happens again, you know, or if we just got lucky because it was mine or something. So It's still a little bit of playing about, but
Yeah.
I think just to show people that you know that shit can be Google News approved as well is
That's sweet.
important. And if we can grab traffic and CTR and everything from it, then why the fuck not?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, my thing is, okay, cool. We found out we can get YouTube in there. What else can we get in there? Would be my next question. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it opens up the door to a lot of possibilities, I guess, or a lot of testing.
that's what he is also thinking. It's just like if you can get YouTube in there, and the thing is with my YouTube channel, it's not associated with. So my main website isn't Google News approved. This guy done it
Mhm.
and added it to another website, and yeah, I think that's Madge there. I'm testing that right now, so it might be Madge. I don't know. Your name's not coming up, but so he is going to test other shit because that was the thing. Because I phoned him this morning. I'm like, fuck, dude, you know, how did you do that? And he's telling me, and he was like, but that begs the question: what else can we get in that?
Yeah, I wonder if you could get a business site in there, like you've got in your GMB, so all your posts get an extra boost from that.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
It's worth playing around with.
Some testing. Now, I don't do a ton of YouTube, but on my websites, I'm all into like the mass page generation where I don't have to think of it. I can, you know, set it up, crank them out. Do they have something like that for YouTube videos where it just sits there and cranks out videos and uploads them to the channel?
I'm not aware of anyway. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, there are tools out there that live IRL fan and stuff like that talk about. And
yeah, no, he uses it primarily to push the videos he has to push up traffic. I'm just talking about spray and pray, just like you've got a bot sitting there uploading videos all fucking day. Like once this one finishes, you upload it some way. It would pull from a spreadsheet or something, pull the title, description, all that shit. There's got to be a way to do that.
Or just use VAs, as Paul Hawkins
I hate
says.
VAs. Yeah, I would much rather have a bot. VAs scare me, to be honest. Not scare me, but like it's fantastic when you can find a good one. But I'm no prince. I don't want to be kissing frogs, you know. Or wait,
Yeah,
I would have to be a princess, wouldn't I? Kiss frogs, turn into a prince.
no
I think that's how it goes. I don't know. You've got the goofy fairy tales over there, so. But yeah. When you can get a solid VA, I've heard it's really good, but I don't want to manage people, so.
Nah, can be painful, man. Can be painful. But Facebook user is asking about expired domains, the best tricks to find them. So you're obviously into looking at this stuff. So how do you find them? Where's the best place?
I mean, if you don't have the budget for an Otis domain, what I would probably do to build out a network would be to go out and go into Ahrefs, do your research ahead of time. So you want to find what we call a seed site, so something that's an authority in your niche. So if I'm doing rehab, I would go to I would just type in drug rehab directories or drug rehab facility directories, or or just go to a bunch of the sites that are ranking top 10 for like the keywords that you know are fucking tough. So I would get a handful of those, at least probably 5. Take those domains, throw them into Ahrefs individually, and they have a feature on there that's broken outbound links. So you want to go to that, do an export for all 5 to 10 seed sites. So all of those have a broken link going from the authority site to the potential site. So then I want to trim down. I want to take that site or take that list, all 5 lists, combine them, dedupe them, cut them down to the domain level, and then run a who is check and see if they're available to register. And then I'm going to take that list and I'm going to plug it back into whatever keyword tool analysis you like. I like Ahrefs just because it's what I use. But I plug that back into Ahrefs, ranked by whatever metric. If you want to go by DR, which I don't like doing, but I like going by referring domains, and then just go individually and do like your quick spam check, either in their backlink portfolio. You want to make sure that it looks relatively clean in who is, and then you want to throw it up and see if you can get some rankings. So that's the process I've used for years at this point. paid someone $1,000 to show me that 6 or 7 years ago. So
It's amazing what you pay. I
Yeah.
seen Holly Starks and Chris Palmer were talking away last week in the live chat and something, and they were like, I've offered Jonesy X amount of money to just spill his guts on, you know, what he's doing with YouTube, and
Yeah.
he ain't
he
spilling.
loves that shit, I bet.
But yeah, but nah, you've got to just pay money and get that, you know, whether it's whatever. So anyway, Paul.
Well, if you know you can make money on something right away, like I always look for the quickest payback period. So when I promised I wouldn't show that, but of course the guy came out and shared it publicly. It was Earp. He's a crazy dude, fun, back in the day. So after that, I didn't really care. But before he shared it, I promised him I wouldn't share it. I'm gonna, stick by that. And so I was like, but I got to make money with this shit right away. So what I did was I started selling niche specific expired domains, and I ended up making like 10 grand a month off of that for however many months. Just running that process over and over and over, and just hustling and getting that money back, and then of course quite a bit more. So
always about getting a bit more.
That's
That
it.
is the main thing. But Hogden is saying he thought YouTube ranked in a few minutes anyway. Yes, it does. Maybe it keeps the videos ranking in Google for longer though. So you're just getting another opportunity, another platform. You know, Google Discover and all that shit. More traffic onto the videos is the same.
Yeah, if it's gonna lead to more views, ultimately that's gonna strengthen your entire network of videos, in my opinion. So it's like getting more traffic to an individual blog post. It might not help it index quicker, or might not help it stay in the index, but it's gonna definitely help the rankings if you're getting qualified traffic to it. So that's how I would look at it.
Craig Mullins is saying YouTube has a Python library to upload videos, but you still got to make your video. So
yeah, that's my issue. There's got to be something out there that fucking makes I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Because there's all the copyright infringement shit. You know what I tried one time? I started a YouTube video. I'm like, all right, channel. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like, because like in the background all the time, I'll like if I don't want to watch anything, or I'm reading or something, or whatever, like doing whatever, but I'm not really watching TV, I'll go to YouTube on the TV and bring up like an ambiance thing. So it's like a coffee shop, or the woods or something like that. I was like, I should start a channel like that. A complete pain in the ass uploading a 10-hour fucking video, so
yeah.
Anyway,
if
anyone knows of a program that will mass produce YouTube videos for me based on like a keyword set, let me know.
Don't know if there is such a thing, but hello to Tom and hello to Arla who joined us. Good to see you guys here. Honey, how much should I charge for a rank and rent website in the plumbing niche, and keyword having cost per click $5 with 10 laser targeted users every day in the USA?
As much as you can get, and still make it worth it to the ultimate, the person. I would probably sell them calls, to be honest. That's what I prefer doing anyway. Then I still maintain the asset. I can still monetize it in other ways if I wanted to. But yeah, I've always gone the PPL route as opposed to the rank and rent route. But like I said, as much as they'll pay, I mean, what are the calls worth to them? I mean, plumbing, depending on the keyword, it can be pretty good. So I would maybe even go out and grab an affiliate offer, throw the number on there, and see what kind of call volume it's getting. Then you're going to have a better idea, and you have a minimum threshold of what you can take at that point as well. If you're making 500 a month on it through PPL, then there's no way in fuck you're going below 500 a month. I would actually go for double that, because if they were buying them from the affiliate network, most of those affiliate networks are taking at least a 50% margin. Unless your calls are really quality, then you can bump them up to giving you 60 or 70%. But most of them, it's a 50-50 rev share split. If they get paid $100, then they're going to give you 50 of it. So if if you're making 500 a month off of that site through just PPL, then I wouldn't take any less probably than 1,000, or cut them a deal, give it to them for 750. If it makes 1,000, maybe give it to them for 1,500. Say, look, you're getting a 50% discount on, or a 25% discount on what you could be buying these calls from Astoria or whatever.
Cool. Good advice. Good advice. Multi-Jabab. If you see sites offering niche edits or guest posts that has a high DA, but it looks like it has almost no rankings, would you avoid using these for links, Brad?
Yes, I probably would, because you can boost DA. It's hard to fake rankings, or it's hard to. I mean, you can fake traffic, but I would probably look at the site's traffic. Is the site getting traffic? Is Google indexing it? Is it ranking it? But traffic is my main thing that I look at. And niche relevance too. I mean, if it doesn't have that much traffic, but it's extremely relevant, it's just got a trickle of traffic, then I might still take it. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't base it on DA or DR or trust flow, maybe topical trust flow. But yeah, other than that, no.
Always got to have traffic and rankings for me as well. So hope that helps. Adam Polenstein, Video Spin Blaster.
I'm writing it down, Adam. I will look at it.
So could be a good tool for Brad to get his lazy ass into YouTube.
It's an opportunity cost thing. It's like, do I want to take that much time to build something else when I can be doing this? I know I'm going to make money at. So it's just fucking around with
it. And Tom, you finally made it. Tom's asking, what are your thoughts on social media marketing panels? I've heard good things, but I feel it's just a scam. So what's your actual thoughts on this, Brad? Do you use them?
What do you mean by social media marketing panels?
Like SMM panels, like just buying fake views, fake
comments,
all that
I think you can mix it in, but I wouldn't use that for 100% of my views and traffic and all that stuff. So if you, a lot of times, if you need a little boost in the beginning, just to get the ball rolling, it does make sense, because there's the kind of the network effect of things to get it rolling. But I definitely wouldn't feed the beast too much,
So for you, Tom, what I've done in the past, if I'm doing videos, it depends on what you're trying to do, but you've got micro workers where you can pay people to click and watch your shit. You've got push notifications, email lists, paid Facebook targeting to the Indian audience if you just want a whole bunch of people really cheap. But you can also run a whole bunch of other stuff like core ads and everything else. So you want to try and get an element of realness in there, a much bigger element than just, slamming, fake views out there. So I think, the only person you'd be kidding on is yourself. Does this stuff move the needle massively? No. But
did you watch, I think it came out last year. It was an HBO documentary on, it was all about like, let's build these influencers up. It was interesting. They never really got paid a ton for it, but the HBO people would send them on these photo shoots. So they had like legit looking profiles, like influencer style profiles. They would fake the, living the ball in life and shit like that. But then they would buy views and comments like fucking crazy, and likes, comments, subscribers. I think it was primarily Instagram. So they were just like hammering it home. But then eventually it started rolling and rolling and rolling. And these people had companies reaching out to them, wanting them to send them free shit and stuff like this. So they were going on trips. They were going on everything just by buying the fake shit. It's a really interesting documentary that was cool. But as far as building a business that you can actually make money on, I don't know if it's going to help you out that much in the long run, for sure.
Fake it till you make it.
That's right. That's what I'm doing. Look at that shirt.
But Robert Kane is asking, do you have any tips for local? So Brad, you've done a huge amount of local. Any tips that are working
now? I would ask for a more specific question. With local, it depends on your strategy. Is it ranking, drilling down and ranking one GMB exceptionally well? I prefer to do the shotgun method, where you've got a shit ton of assets everywhere and you don't really have to monitor them as much. But if you keep adding to that, eventually the tide's going to come up. You're going to make money. So that would be my primary tip for local. Just fucking hit everything, become manic, and build.
Tom's asking, what was the name of that documentary?
Fuck, I don't know. Let me Google it. Like, who did that? Palmer?
Yeah, it was Palmer. Someone asked what W3C validation meant. Palmer's like,
he didn't know.
Nah, he didn't know.
He wasn't a web designer, clearly.
Yeah.
One moment. Fake Famous is what it was called. Really good.
He was. Check it out, Tom. Check it out. But Carol Morley is here. Good to see you, Carol. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Dirk is asking, what's your take on using a central account for all your websites in Google Search Console? Would you be concerned from a PBN many sites point of view? Would you have them all attached together in one account on Search Console? For me, that's crazy. But hey, what are you saying to it?
I mean, from a client perspective, I probably wouldn't put my PBNs mini nets in there. But we do have most, if not all, of our clients add us to the same, add us to GSC. So we're not the primary user on there, but we do have access to it. So I really don't think you're going to get in a ton of trouble. But I would still most definitely keep the PBNs and mini nets separate. When you're linking, using them in your linking diagrams, I would keep those separate just in case.
Yeah, be careful, man. I'm a bit more cautious.
Yeah.
I would not have them all linked together.
Yeah, and I don't put a ton of them, my mini nets and shit, unless I'm really building it out and it's really going to look like a money site and shit. I don't normally put them in my GSC anyway.
Cool. Adam Hawthorne saying Palmer has given tutorials in the past on the Video Blaster Pro.
I'll look it up. So I was just curious.
Fuck it. But if Palmer's laying it out in a plate for you, why the fuck not?
Yeah, just be another shotgun tactic. Just I'm gonna pump out a fuck ton of YouTube videos. See how much traffic I can get on them. They're worthless to the human race, but maybe I can make a little money on them. That's that's what it's going to say on my tombstone, actually. Useless to the human race, but he made a little money.
Listen, that's the same as my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But hey, makes a little money.
Maybe that should be the name of my YouTube channel. Useless to the human race. I like that.
But Sacolane, hopefully I've got that name right. How to outrank topical relevance competitor. I ranked all my buying keywords number 2, but the number 1 site is good topical relevance, and his site is 0 DR, 0 UR, 0 backlinks, only topical authority. So how would you go about beating that, Brad?
Simple answer is make your site more topically relevant than his and give it time. That's it. You just got to keep adding content. Do what he or she is doing to the best of your ability, and make those factors either equal or you're slightly above them, and then all the other factors should kick in and kind of bring you to the top. So
what I'd also add to that is if you're in the top 3 positions, obviously you're saying this guy's got 0 backlinks and all that stuff. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but a bit of CTR might be enough to knock you into position 1, and purely because he's there, he's organically getting all the traffic. So consider a bit of CTR manipulation potentially to
use CTR booster for that, or what do you use?
I would probably just use paid traffic, to be honest. CTR booster, it's a great.
They can be buggy. They're still working on it, I think.
Yeah. So I like the tool. I don't want to dismiss it, but it is buggy. So it's just easier to do paid traffic and be done with it. So, but
are you just doing something as expensive as Facebook or Twitter traffic? Or are you going for like pop unders and shit like that?
It depends on the niche. But you want it to be relatively inexpensive. So for me, Facebook traffic is. I know people say it's expensive and shit like that, but when you're doing a bit of CTR manipulation in a specific area or whatever, a specific country, doesn't really matter. It's fairly cost effective, and you don't have to get thousands of clicks to knock that guy off his perch. So
you don't spoof it at all?
Nah.
Yeah.
No spoofing. I'm a white hat.
Yeah, you are.
Multi Jabab, did you not think about staying in Dubai and nailing the SEO services in the Emirates, as it's a hugely underserved market?
He actually did think about that, to be honest. He was messaging me.
So I spoke to a few guys out there, and obviously they've got big companies out there making a lot of money, and it is an underserved market, but sadly, at my point in my career, I don't really do it for clients. But listen, I did consider not fucking coming home because Dubai was stunning. Absolutely.
Heard that.
Place. So,
how many gold-plated toilet seats did you sit on while you were out there?
Do you know what? I don't know, because I was drunk for 6 days, so they could all been gold-plated. But
how many gold-plated toilet seats did you grab around while you were throwing up?
But what a clean and amazing place, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was my first trip there, and great people, great event, and all that as well. So, and I think what you're saying there is right. Emirates is a hugely underserved market, and people could probably go and clean up out there because there's guys with big money as well looking to get some good shit.
Is there demand out there?
Yeah.
For SEO? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What are they primarily asking about? Like, what niches? What are they looking to do? Just out of curiosity. Because I'm sure you didn't have plumbers coming up to you and shit like that.
No. I had guys coming up to me after my talk. I had a wide range of guys coming up to me, but they were wanting me to help them build an in-house team. So it was consultancy, helping them build a team because they've been fucked over so much. And money was not a problem.
Do you have people over there that would be able to work in the industry if you were to set up a team, you think?
Potentially, yeah. But again, these guys are not adverse to setting up a remote team. They're just like, dude, we need something, and we want to be in a lot more control. We don't want this agency. We want your consultancy. We want your advice. We want you to train these people. We want to work with you long term, and all that kind of stuff. So I had a few options of that, but there certainly wasn't a plumber.
That's better than having a regular client for sure.
Yeah,
I've done some training where it's like 10 grand pop, shit like that, and I'm sure they'd pay a lot more.
It's but also there was a lot of crypto dudes and stuff like that out there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So there is money. There certainly wasn't a plumber. Like, I think the event was like $2,000 a ticket to come. So I'm not sure many plumbers would pay that. But
I mean, when you're a plumber working on gold-plated toilets, maybe you can afford the $2,000.
Maybe. But what I'd also say about that particular event is most of the audience and most of the speakers, I was one of only 2 SEO guys.
Yeah. You and Steel Patel?
Nah, he wasn't there. I can't even remember the other dude's name, but it was a lot of media buyers. So, people buying a lot of traffic, dating companies, and so there was money there. The potential customers were not low level stuff with no budget. So yeah, definitely a place that you want to have a look at if you're ever wanting to offer services. But Robert Kane is asking, do you think citations play a role in the SERP and not the 3-pack? Thanks.
Yes, I would say it's a backlink. So yeah, it would play a role. The problem with citations is you're getting a link on a page that has no traffic, no linking behind it. So I take those and I predominantly use them as deliverable to clients, right? But then I will take them and use them in my linking diagrams and shit like that, and make sure they get some extra juice going over to them. And that's where you're going to see more benefit, because one, they might or might not start ranking. If they do start ranking, you're going to get a little bit of traffic on them. I've never actually done. I thought about trying to push push certain citation, like fucking with like the Yellow Pages algorithm. Has anyone ever done a case study on that? I'm sure it's primarily traffic and review based, but that would be an interesting one to do. And for clients and everything like that, you are going to get calls from those citations. Those sites ultimately, they're search engines in and of themselves. So it will provide benefit long term, but short term, from purely a ranking perspective, you're going to have to push them a little bit. That's how I feel about it. They're not nearly as prevalent as they were 5-6 years ago. So
Yeah, I would agree. And Multi Jabab is asking, do citations help with the old six pack as sit-ups are doing fuck all?
you got to do sit-ups. You got to do the, they're not Russian twists anymore. You got to do the Ukrainian twists now. You know, we're talking about working out.
Yeah.
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 They back when the 6-7 pack, whatever that was back in the day. Yeah, they worked exceptionally well. Citations did. So, I mean, it's a check mark, and it shows your client you're doing something. You know, in my opinion, at the very least, you should do them for that reason.
Exactly. Some kind of deliverable.
Mhm.
Aaron Semenoff, I'm currently linking to a bunch of related products on my e-commerce product pages. Is there such a thing as too many internal links from a product page? I usually link to about 5 other products. Is that overkill, or what do you think, Brad?
It comes down to kind of are you clustering them properly? Now, if it supports, if your internal clusters support the 5 links, or your whatever you're using to decide where to link where, if it makes sense to do that, I would do it. But whether it's 5 is too much, too little, I would have to see it, to be honest. So cluster maturation.
Cluster maturation, but here's a joke I'm going to have to steal for myself. This should have been my comeback when you asked the gold-plated seats question. They all looked brown-plated when I was finished. So, yeah. But Stigs, yes, I'm just about alive. Dude, I'm not fucking going to lie. Like, we were on it for like 6 days solid. And I genuinely, that's me only starting to recover now. I've been home for like 6 days and I'm just starting to feel alive again. That was 6 days boozing after 2 years of not really doing fuck all. Took its toll.
That sleep deprivation catches up too.
Oh man, honestly, it's at the weekend and stuff. I just felt fucked. I'm just wake up. I had to go for a nap like 2 hours later. Not fun, but the sauna did the trick.
Sweat it out.
A sauna as such, but I went and got the IV. So you guys, you ever tried that IV drip stuff, Brad?
No, but I've heard it works exceptionally well.
Oh, mate, amazing. Like, I always thought it was bullshit, but I was that bad.
No, it's dehydration that fucks you. Yeah, so it fixes that.
I was desperate, man, and I just thought, fuck it.
I told you about the first ever NFG event, right? The dude that ended up in the hospital. He partied so hard.
Nah.
Yeah, it was Vic. So he parties hard. First time I ever met this guy. He's like, "Oh, Brad, come here. Here, let me buy you a drink." So I didn't even know he was fucking attending the event, because we kind of latched on to the back end of the OMG event. And so I thought he was just there for the OMG event, but come to find out he was there for the NFG event as well. So he's like, "Oh yeah," he's buying everyone drinks. Dude's got like these big ass like fake glasses and shit. I'm like, who is this goober? But Vic's the coolest dude I know. But anyway, he's just throwing them back all night, boom, 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 buying shots for everyone. And then I don't think about it. I don't see him the rest of the night. I wasn't really, I didn't know him that well then. And then he doesn't show up for the event the next day. Everyone's like, where's Smush? I don't know who Smush is. So, so come to find out, someone found him laying in the middle of the road, just like out cold. He wakes up in a fucking hospital, strapped to the bed, because apparently he was flailing and shit. So he's like, get me the fuck out of this bed. He's like, flailing around. Nurse comes in, pops the needle off the syringe, pops him in the arm. He goes out. He wakes up. No no arm restraints or anything. She's like, oh, would you like your breakfast? Yeah, that would be great. He goes out the next night. I'm like, dude, do you feel like dog shit? He's like, no, I got all those IVs and shit. I feel fantastic. I can go just as hard this night, tonight. But yeah, he went hard, got the IV, ate breakfast in a hospital, and then came back to the event and party kept going. Dude's wild.
Oh man, fuck that.
SEO stories. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always good.
He's young though, so he can do it a little easier.
Mainly gold selling and laundry services in Dubai. Gold selling's a good one. Fuck it.
Yeah, gold would be good. Yeah, gold. I mean, gold's big here too. You want to rank for gold IRA and all that shit. I remember everyone was trying to do that a few years ago. Gold's taking off right now. Fuck.
I seen someone saying that's up to like, I don't know, something like $2,000.
Yeah, it was up to $2,000 again. Yeah, gold and oil. So they should be doing all right. I don't. Dubai have oil? I assume they have it out there, right? That's where they get all the money.
Assume so. Yeah. All of them places are all fucking oil tycoons. I think that's where a lot of their money.
That's what I thought. Yeah, and then they're just trying to disperse it elsewhere.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, we do have 22 or 24 minutes left, so keep your questions coming. Do give us a like on the video up there, or a dislike if you don't like Brad or me. Mainly Brad though. But yeah,
I'm extremely likable. Just ask everyone that knows me.
Saquilane, how to build a high-level topical relevance. Please explain step by step.
Oh, that's a deep question. I mean, basically what I try and do first is look at the competition. Like, you're already looking at the competition. What are they doing? What's providing topical relevance? A way to quickly pull it is to throw an article that you have into cognitive SEO. I'll give you a ton of the topically relevant topics on there. And then it's like I said, what did I call that? A donor site? A few weeks ago. Yeah. I always find a donor site. Okay, what are they doing? They're obviously doing something right because I see them, everywhere. What are they doing right? How are they building out their topic clusters? Then I just emulate that. I don't have to be the first. I just got to be the best. So that's how to do it. Just emulate what's out there. See what Google's already telling you they want you to rank. $10 if I bounce on that ball. I've heard that before. Takes at least 20.
Cameron G has a client who's getting a new website built but doesn't see the benefit in doing a site migration. What would be your unfiltered response be? I'm going to say F off.
Yeah, fuck you would be my unfiltered response. What the fuck is your problem? That would be. So
I don't see the benefit in doing a site migration. Well,
they just want to start from scratch and build up a brand new site. We actually had a brand new client before we even got like GSC access and everything. They decided to rebrand, and they put up a brand new site, completely dupe, just had different branding. Initially, when we were selling them on the project, they said that they were going to rebrand but keep the same website. It makes sense. Like the core, like the name was the same, but they wanted to branch out. Instead of just doing database work, they wanted to do other stuff. So they, instead of database in their domain, in their branding, they wanted systems or something goofy. But yeah, it's whatever. I didn't see a difference. But we said, yeah, that's fine. Just rebrand, put out a press release, all that. As long as you're keeping the site the same. Are you keeping the site the same? Yeah. And then before we get into, before they signed the contract, they paid. Before we had GSC access, they said, oh, by the way, we decided to go with the new website. Why'd you do that? We decided, okay. They're like, we already 301'd it, but there's 404s all over this new site. We got to go in and fix it. Take the 301 off. When can we put it back on? I don't fucking know. So it's kind of putting out a fire. But yeah, it's they either need to. So in your situation though, what I might suggest is if they want to keep the old site up, keep it up, use it as a network site, use it as a lead generation tool while you're building the other site. Work on both of them at the same time, charge a little more, and say, look, your money's going to come from the site that's established, right? This other one, we're going to have to build the asset from scratch, so it's going to take some time. I'm actually doing that with a client right now, a rehab client. So they have an umbrella company, and they buy and sell. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know they were going to buy and sell them that much. I thought they were just going to be buying them. But if the opportunity comes to sell a facility, they will. No questions asked. I found out. So I'll be, we'll be like full steam ahead on this one property in their network. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're selling this site. It's going to go away. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. So they did that to us a few times. So I said, they asked, why aren't we just working on the umbrella company, the umbrella website? I was like, I didn't know you had one. Hang on. So I go to it. It had 4 fucking pages on it. 4 pages on the site that they want to rank nationally for rehab stuff. I was like, it's going to take a lot of work to get that. That's why we're building out your network. So back to you, Cameron. I would probably suggest that they use that as a network, a feeder site that collects leads, that drives traffic over to the new site. If they want to keep those completely separate. Ultimately, I'd like to combine them and build up the new one, or just not have a new one. But yeah, just have it as a network site. If they don't want to keep it as a network site, let it expire and fucking buy it and then turn it into an affiliate site, if it's decent.
But unless the client's got some legal reason where they can't be known to be launching this new website and they're trying to be off radar. If that is the reason, then of course you got to do what the client wants to do. But if it's
that turns it into more of a business decision, I guess, at that point.
Yeah. But if it's an uneducated client guessing, we can't be fucking arsed doing it properly, you've got to walk, because either way you're going to get fired along the line, because it's not going to be successful. If they don't utilize what they've got, the asset they've got, your ass is on the line. And when that traffic stops and the leads stop, your ass is grass, basically. Unless you get really good sales pitch and good at talking your way out of trouble, which you may very well be able to do. But Saquilane wants to do link building, but he's confused what types of link to build to his Amazon affiliate websites. He's already started guest posting. So, Brad, do we only build guest posts?
I like niche edits.
Yeah,
they're pretty diversified. Yeah, cheaper. And I mean, on an individual page basis, they're better. You put out a guest post, it's going to be a brand new page on the site.
Yeah,
so
it's you've got to understand. What I would say to someone like yourself who's asking that question, Saquilane, is do not rely on one type of link building, whether that be guest posts, whether it be edits, try and get as many different link types as you can. Where possible, just mix it all up.
Also, do you do this much, Craig? This is kind of a lower budget network building type thing, but get an IFTTT network built out where if you're continuously publishing, so have it go out to the network every time. You don't want to have, of course, the full article out to the network. So I'll go to Twitter and then out to the rest of the network to kind of protect myself against that. But then you go in, you build the IFTTT network, and then you backlink to said network because it's all interlinked and all that stuff. It's all within your brand. It's all in the same as your schema and shit. That has worked well for me in the past. So I didn't know if that was something that you did. That was something that I might suggest to you, Salim.
Listen, I think there's massive value in setting up IFTTT or whatever the fuck it's called. What is it called? What does that actually stand for again?
If this and that.
Yeah. So I think it's a good solid way of setting yourself up. And as Brad says, you don't want to be posting the same shit, the full article out there, but spread it around a bit. But make sure you do get different types of links.
Well, that's going to provide you a base of like your social links in the very beginning for each post without thinking about it. So, I like automation. So
automation's key. We all like it. Have you guys ever tried linking directly from the GMB to a lead gen company's website?
Yeah, all the time, especially if it's the GMB associated with the landing page that you're linking from. Most definitely, I link to the reviews. I link to the CID. I include the NAP. I include a map embed. Everything. You got to fully associate that landing page with it, if that's what you're talking about, Tom.
Yeah. Allah, do you think a GMB is necessary for ranking local? Is it worth it to get for small lead pages?
A GMB isn't completely necessary, but it's like shoes for running and alcohol for having fun. You don't need it, but it sure as fuck helps. So
I mean, for me, I would say to someone, there's a lot of traffic that goes through a GMB. Why wouldn't you want it for local?
if you're getting paid on calls, you most definitely should have a GMB. And to your point, the small pages, the small city pages, I assume that's what you're referring to. Why not take those easy wins? And you can parlay that into client work if you wanted to. Not saying everyone wants. I much prefer PPL, but if the opportunity presents itself where the client, is like, well, let me see your rankings, or a potential client, you can show them these easy wins and say, look, this is just some of our test stuff. That's why I'm comfortable showing you. But here you go. We rank #1 for this, and this. And it's smaller cities, but it will get traffic. It will get calls. So.
But also, let me add this in just for food for thought. There is guys out there making a fortune who don't even have websites.
Yeah.
They just make a fortune just through GMBs.
I know a few of those guys. Yeah. It's
so funny. Is it necessary? It's crazy not to, in my opinion, because if there's guys out there that don't even need a website and they can generate enough revenue through just the GMB, then I would say it's necessary. It's a must-have if you want to do local, in my opinion. Purely if I was advising someone, do it.
I know a guy. He fluctuates from month to month, of course, but worked with him in the past. He's doing. I think he bumps his head at like 30K for one campaign a month. It swings because most local campaigns are cyclical. Like water damage is going to be cyclical. Insurance is going to be cyclical. Rehab is cyclical, surprisingly. But anything local like that's going to be cyclical. But I know he tops out at like 30 grand a month on the good months. So that's just, and he has, like you said, zero websites. He doesn't even want to put a fucking business site in there. Yeah.
Listen, that says it all, really.
Yes.
That's enough said. Honey's asking, does Money Robot help in backlink indexing and ranking in second tier link building?
I've never actually used Money Robot, but I've used like GSA, SER, and stuff like that. You've really got to hone that skill. It's a skill that you've got to develop using tools like that. I do know people still using it, but I'd rather just go out and get my tiered IFTTT network and roll with that, to be honest, and use that for indexing. So, but yeah, I'm sure it can if you do it right, but I just can't comment on it any further than that because I don't do it. So
for me, Honey, it does. I love Money Robot, and
you still using it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, listen, it might not actually make a huge difference. It's just a part of my process,
Yeah. Do you have one network, like one monster network that you use, or do you build out an individual network for each like campaign that's like niche specific?
So in the past, when I was doing a lot more projects, I had one big monster network. When I get involved in projects now, I get rid of a lot of my network because they were shit. I wasn't updating them properly and all that stuff, and couldn't be asked with it. But now, I would build a niche specific one for new projects that I get. Again, it's just stupid to have one big network, to be honest. But I would rather pay money now and use someone else's network than go to the trouble of.
Are there good suppliers out there for that kind of shit, like Money Robot type work?
I met a lot actually in Dubai. A couple of good fucking suppliers. So Yeah, some guys get crazy ass networks, and you know they're sitting showing you them. You're just like, dude, I'll throw all sorts at you.
And it's working for them, right?
Yeah,
They showed you results.
exactly.
Cool. Nice.
So yeah, there's good people out there. Lewis Ruff, good to see you, buddy. Even though it was short but sweet, I think we
Kind
got
of
a fist pump.
like me.
Looking for me in the dating SEO game. Man, you have a long wait. That is a hard ass niche. Have you ever played in the dating industry, Brad?
No, I never. It's never a good dater, so it never really. There is no connection with that. So
You've
I
got some
never got.
shitty chat up lines and all that shit. So yeah, I can't see it working for Brad.
No, yeah, I'm pretty fucking awkward. Yeah, most women when they see me coming at a bar, they'll cover their drink, so I can't. They think I'm gonna put something in it or something. Most men actually do that as well, so it's odd.
Man. But nah, Lewis, it was good to see you. Although I met Lewis in Glasgow, he's a Glasgow guy that
Nice.
stays in Ukraine, but was in Dubai. And
I hope he stays in Dubai for a little bit.
yeah, but we met in Glasgow a week before Dubai because it was just crazy busy and I was crazy drunk. So I seen you once at the event, I think, Lewis, that time.
That's a pretty massive event, wasn't it?
I think there were 6,000 people there or some shit like that. So
pretty good.
Yeah, pretty big.
6,000 times 2,000 a ticket. That's not bad.
And by the way, Lewis had a booth there, but
yeah,
I know of what some people paid for booths, and yeah, that event made so much fucking money, but so professional, you know, amazing. So yeah, good event. But questions. Aaron Semenoff's asking, is it worth getting multiple backlinks from the same website?
What I would do in that situation is link to different targets on my site, but hammering the same link over and over. Google, just in my opinion, isn't going to count it. But what I do is like I'll create a hub on the site that I'm linking from to my money site. So I'll link to different points on my money site at that point. So in that case, yeah, you can do multiple from that perspective.
Yeah, I would agree. Hello, Robert. Hope you're well. We will come to your question in a second, Robert. But Dave Hennessy, do you have any experience doing merchant cash advanced lead generation or affiliate brands?
Yeah, our client that we worked with that did mortgage loans, they were wanting to do the merchant cash advances. I do know that like GMBs and shit, there's just no affiliate offers. Anytime you find anything that doesn't have affiliates in it, then it's theoretically easier because there's less competition. You know, rehab, there's going to be a fuck ton of people in it. Payday loans, there's going to be a fuck ton in it. We've done a shit ton with payday loans through clients. But yeah, I mean, we were driving a shit ton of leads for that, but we had a crap ton of GMBs too. So yeah, I would go the GMB route because people are searching for it. Merchant cash advance plus city, you know, just crank them out. Or if you're seeing a bunch or I'm going to do like a SERP shaker type site or a mass page builder site over GMBs, is if I see that the competition is so low that all I've got that they don't even have a map, or it might not pop a map for that specific keyword, then I'm going to do my mass page builder, and I'm just going to crank out sites at that point. So yeah, you can definitely do it. We've done a little bit of it.
I was doing training with a girl who is doing this exact niche, and she's doing really well with it. So, but she's using the Magic Page plugin, cranking out sorts, and yeah, it's going really well for her. So,
I mean, if you think about it, merchant cash advance, you're dealing with businesses and you're dealing with big amounts of money. You're not dealing with payday loans where they're getting $100 or $20. You're dealing with tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. They just need float for inventory and stuff like that. So it's a good service too, if you connect the right people.
For sure. But Robert's saying he wants to rank a few English articles on a domain in different specific countries, like the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, South Africa. Most of the articles already rank well in the US. What would be your strategy?
Do they have specific like TLDs that you can get for those? That'd be the only thing. I pretty much stick to US for the most part, to be honest. So
You can, if you were going to use other TLDs and then use hreflang tags to say this is my Australian version of the website and so on. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do this with one big website, I wouldn't. I look at Amazon and they have broken everything down into
Amazon.co.uk.
Yeah. So I would always follow that and break it down, because if Amazon are doing it, as far as I'm concerned, that's the right strategy to do, and who's to argue with Amazon? So that would be my strategy, and then just use hreflang tags, and that would be it. Simple and easy. Saclane has one last question. So I start to do CTR manipulation, build topical relevance and different types of links, right?
Is that a question? Yeah.
If you're asking, I wouldn't worry about CTR manipulation just now.
No. Well, didn't you mention CTR? Was he the guy that was number 2, trying to push it to number 1?
If you're in position 2, going to position 1, then yes, CTR manipulation. If you're not that guy, then build links, create good content, get your rankings up there before you start doing CTR manipulation. So yeah, hopefully that helps you, mate. Sam Charles, what do you think of AI content?
If it indexes well and ranks well, then I love it. I use it.
Yeah. But do you think longer term, even though it is indexing and ranking well just now, do you think you will get slammed for it?
I never think longer term, Craig.
Yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah.
Should have known that. It's all about now. But I think, Sam, you have to think long term. Could you be slammed for it? I'm not a huge fan. That's just my personal.
Use it in your mini nets. Use it in your networks. That way, it's not a huge deal at that point. Yeah. So. But for your money sites, I'm going out to like Otis or someone to like, for the money sites I really care about. I want to pay that 7 to 10 cents a word type shit, and get a quality article, and I don't have to even freaking worry about it. I know it's going to be solid. I know it's going to rank. I know it's going to index, all that. So Otis does a good job of getting media in there too. To help it index. So
go on the Otis. If you're wondering what that is, odys.cc. The link is below. Viral Clout's asking, do you use press releases?
I do. Yeah, for local and national, they work. Yeah, it's just a different link type, like Craig was saying earlier. Buried up.
You've got loads of digital PR guys, Magic PR, Randy Roday, Nick's Lee. There's tons of them out there, all doing great stuff. So check them out and utilize them. And thank you, Dave Hennessy, for the question. Stiggs is get out
go.
Here.
You ain't got to go. You just got to get the fuck out of here, Stiggs.
Do you know what? I've got a horrible feeling that that's Mike. Don't ask me why. And now I know Stiggs comes in here when Mike's on.
It might be Mike's wife.
That has got to be.
That kind of looks like her.
That guy looks like
not really.
Mike's wife.
No, not at all.
Oh man, Mike is the king. Mike's a good lad. Mike's a good lad. And so you mean all different hreflang on the article, or rewrite the article for every English-spoken country with specific hreflang tags. So you can basically add hreflang tags to the website saying, this is my Australian website, which goes site-wide, and that's it. You do not have to add these tags to every article. So you can basically say, this is my Australian website, this is my whatever website, and you will not then be done for duplicate content. But that's only if you're going for English-spoken countries and stuff like that. If you're also going to translate and shit, other things have to happen. So it all depends. But adding the hreflang tags is basically telling Google, this is my Australian version of my website. I've got a US one, I've got a UK one, and so on. Not my preferred method. I would rather break it all down into TLDs like Amazon do. But that is the purpose of a hreflang tag. And I can't even say hreflang anymore, so I'm not saying it again. It's just
saying what again?
I don't even know. That thing. That thing.
Good.
And Mike is Stiggs's 17th favorite SEO.
This might be his wife then, yeah, because she said that before. Mike is my 17th favorite.
I must be up there near the top.
I didn't know she was talking about SEOs, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm in top 30, so yeah, it's not bad.
At least you're in the top 30. It could be worse.
Yeah, there's only 25 SEOs in the world though, so I don't know what that means.
Last question before we do shoot off. If I wish to sell a website with 1 million monthly traffic, it's an info and EDU niche, and it's got all these EDU and government backlinks. What price can I expect to sell it? Please guide. Traffic. It is based on revenue.
Yeah, I would say base it on revenue. So it's where are they getting 40, 45 times monthly?
Yeah.
It's going to be the quickest way to determine it. Yeah.
So always 40 to 45 times your rev is what Empire Flippers are getting for the majority of their websites. So you can use that as a guide to pricing the website. So it's making $1,500 a month. So that, yeah, let Brad do the math on it.
Would you say 40 or 45?
Let's go 45 because there are some at 55 times the monthly revenue.
You're looking at about, if that's net, not gross, you're looking at about 67.5.
That would do. So
not a small chunk of change.
Yeah, 67.5 grand is roughly what you're looking at. But if you want a quick sale, you might have to come down a little bit. So yeah, and put it out in the groups and stuff like that. See if you get anyone biting. But definitely the last one, Multi-Jabab. What's the best affiliate companies in the USA for physical products, ideally in fitness and cycling, looking for alternatives to Amazon?
I would probably just run a Google search, wouldn't you? I would have a specific product in mind and start looking.
Yeah. So like I had a golf website, which I initially started with Amazon. Then, a lot of my traffic was coming from America, blah, 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 blah. And, I wanted to get Amazon cut their commission. So I did look just like golf affiliates in the USA. And there was a whole bunch of them. So a simple Google search will show you and then just go through there and try and pick someone that can deliver as fast as Amazon, first and foremost. And secondly, has a better commission than Amazon because the small percentage you get there really does suck ass and makes it not
so easy though. You're paying for convenience at that point.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps you, Multi-Jabab. But
can we call him Multi-Jib-Jab?
Multi-Jib-Jab.
That's how I read it every time I look at Jib-Jab.
Yeah. But we are out of time, guys. Do check out ODYS. If you want to see more of BRAD and Mike, check out nfgseo.com/7 and hound them on there for whatever you can get from them. And please do.
Not much. I can tell you that. Not much.
But do give us a little like and subscribe in this channel as well, guys. And we will catch you all again next week at the same time. Cheers.
Later.